Nick Rollis on the run defense improving in the second half against the Lions. We've talked a lot about that.
Yeah, it's the same story. It's not like we came out and played a completely different defense. There's a couple things we tweaked, called it a little different at times in the second half, and then execution was, in some spots better than it was in the first half. Some spots still needed to be cleaned up in the second half. So it's all those factors combined.
Yesterday we talked about the secondary for the Cardinals, the lack of pass breakups, the lack of interceptions.
Right, don't have any interceptions yet.
That. In general, how would you describe the state of play of the Cardinals defense after 3 games? How would you what's the first word that pops into mind or the first phrase that pops into mind?
Encouraging. They've played better than I thought they would. We thought that the Cardinals would have to win games, 37-34, right? 35-31. We thought they'd have to win games like that because the defense was just, there's not a lot of names on it. It wasn't a very good defense last year, but I'm encouraged by the way they played. Look, especially, you could go back to the Buffalo game. Did a pretty decent job in that Buffalo game.
Sure did.
In the
first half they did, yeah.
This past week against a really good football team, what was it, 7 possessions in the second half, no points for the Detroit Lions? Dominated the Rams, really played well against the Rams. So I think, look, they don't have the premier sack guy. They don't have the premier interception guy. But a lot of it is, can you play well together as a unit? Can you play well together as 11 guys on the field? And I think without the great individual performances, you're seeing a defense that more or less is playing pretty well as a unit.
It's funny. I earlier in the show, we were talking about the Commanders' defense and how this might be a shootout this weekend between the Commanders and the Cardinals because the Commanders' defense so far through 3 games has been brutal. Almost every single stat, they've just been brutal. On a hunch this morning when I was prepping for the show, I looked at the same stats for the Cardinals' defense so far, and they have been shockingly, totally, completely average. I mean, just right. Like you imagine teams 1 through 10 are really good. Teams 20 through 32 are really bad. The Cardinals, in just about every measurable defensive statistic, are right in that middle zone.
Okay, but that's a win.
Of course, that's the point I'm building to, is that's not bad. That's what we had hoped for. That's what we wanted from this defense, was you'd be kind of average, kind of middle of the road. That's a win. That's a victory. Given the personnel on that side of the ball and the lack of a sack guy, the lack of an interception, that's a total win.
I don't know
for the
how
Cardinals.
often you shoot for average in your life and things, but like in this case, it's a good thing.
Well, you could ask my wife. She married me.
Yeah, that's below average.
Oh, way average.
Okay, you want to give yourself average?
I give myself average.
Yeah,
you can ask my wife. She settled for average, I think. She probably could have done it.
Just
look at Laura
average.
She could have done better than you. Yeah, she could have.
No, I was going to say, I've met Burnsy's wife. She's a wonderful lady, and
Wonderful
Burnsy's
lady.
great, too.
Yes.
They're a very dynamic duo.
Whoa.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you, Lauren. I'm blushing right now. Here's the stat that I wanted to pass along, and this came from our friend over at Arizona Cardinals, Craig Grillo. We all know Gree. Through 3 games, the Arizona Cardinals defense has recorded 26 total negative plays, 23 tackles for loss, 17 negative run plays. No team has better numbers in any of those categories.
That stands out.
That's a surprise, isn't it?
Is there a player that's like leading the league in tackles for a loss that we don't know about? Like, I mean, as a group, that's a good point. They've got a lot of negative. They've created a lot of negative plays. But, like Buddha's done a great job so far this year. He's having a phenomenal season. But if I asked you who's the next best player on the Cardinals defense, could you come up with somebody? I know Zaven Collins has done a good job.
Okay.
Zaven Collins has done a good job as an edge guy. Like, he really has. He's played well.
I don't know how, with 30 seconds to go in the segment, I can search for negative plays, but I can quickly search for tackles for loss.
Yeah.
Dennis Gardeck leads the way with 5. Budda Baker has 3. Zaven Collins has 3. Mac Wilson has 2. Everybody else has 1, but a bunch of guys have 1 for the Cardinals, like a bunch of guys.
The number Zaven Collins has the number 1 edge defender grade on run defense. Zaven Collins, among edge defenders this season, has an 83.8 run grade from Pro Football Focus. That is number 1 among all edge defenders this season. So, does he have 5 sacks? No. but he's done the best of any edge defender in stopping the run. Okay. Again, like do what you can do. If you're not great at sacking the quarterback, do other things that help your team win.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.